Yeah. So basically, when we say heap, generally we refer it to either min heap and max heap. But if I will say the definition of the heap, it will be like a heap is a complete binary tree. This is very important statement that it is a complete binary tree, and also known as binary heap that can be constructing using an array. So as far we have learned, means maybe we have seen previously when you guys have used tree, we used left pointer and right pointer to kind of build a tree, means build a binary tree. But still this heap is similar to binary tree, but it doesn't use any left pointer and right pointer. And how we are going to achieve that tree behavior, we will see in the further slides. But the thing is that we need to understand that this is a complete binary tree. And what does complete binary tree means is all the means nodes in the tree will be like filled in a subsequent manner. Like let's say this is my tree. So first 10 will be there, 8 will be there, then 4 will be there. Then after, I cannot put any node below 4 unless until these parent means the 8 is completely filled. So that way, all the parent node, either they will be filled in a sequential manner, so that there should be no gap in between. Hope this is means clear. So basically, I mean to say
Abhishek,
that I cannot.
can we basically change this PPT into a slideshow?
Yeah, let me do that. Okay. Yeah. So what I want to say is that I cannot put any. Let's say if I will pick this and place it here, then it is not a complete binary tree. It will break the property that because 8 has to be completely, means all the left and right node of 8 should be completely filled to move to 4. So that way this will help us to index and kind of move left to find out our left subtree and right subtree. So bean heap has a property which is like it is complete binary tree. Means a heap has a properties that it is a complete binary tree. And there are two type of heap, either that could be a max heap or mean heap. If we say max heap, yeah, if we say it is a max heap, all the nodes in the tree, so all the nodes and their subchild, it the value at that particular node and is greater than their either left subchild or right subchild. So if we see here, 10 is bigger than 8 and 4, 8 is bigger than 5 and 1. Since 4 doesn't have any nodes, so anyway it is considered biggest one, so it is a max heap. Similar to that, we have min heap where all nodes have a property which is lower than the child node. So if you see here, 1 is lesser than 2 and 4, 2 is less than 5 and 8, and since 4 doesn't have any node, so it is anyway considered lesser. So this way we can say that this is a max heap and this is min heap. Okay.
Yeah, Abhishek, one doubt. So you explained like in what scenario the binary tree will be completed. Can you just reiterate, because I missed the part. So I'm not
Okay.
clear. Like,
Wait. Yeah, if you see here, this is a complete binary tree. If suppose, let me, if I will put this in a way like, this is a violation of complete binary tree. Why? Because before filling the left node, I moved to filling the right node. So this is not a complete binary tree. We should first fill the left node of any root node, and then we can only move to right node, and that to be on level wise we have to do.
Okay.
Does it make sense?
Yeah, yeah. So the left
yeah,
part should be filled, then only it will be called binary tree, right?
complete binary tree means all the labels would be filled before going down and before moving to the right also. So if I have to fill if I, let's say I created one more
One more.
node here, and in spite of filling it here, I filled it here. So this is again a violation of complete binary tree, because this should be coming here, then there should be a node here, and only then I will be allowed to fill this node.
Okay, okay. So the down node should be filled left, right? Then only you can go to the next node.
Correct.
Okay.
So
Got it.
only, yeah, top level nodes are completely filled. Only then you can move to down level node, and you have to start from the leftmost to make it complete binary tree.
Okay, okay. So
Okay.
first we need to fill the left, then only we can go to right. And once the left and right are filled, then only we can go to the next node.
Next level, right?
Next level, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Okay. So a complete binary tree may not be full. Full binary tree is like all nodes, means all nodes should have either either two child or no child. So full binary tree could be like, this is also not a full binary tree, but a complete binary tree. Full binary tree should have both the nodes, like 4 should have also 2 nodes. So all labels should be full, either completely full or will be completely empty. It should not be partially label wise full even. So full tree is another example. We can for now just ignore that, but I hope complete binary tree is clear, right?
Yes, Abhishek, it is clear.
Okay. Yeah, same thing I was means we can consider this as a level wise filling, where we kind of in first level we should have, let's see here, this is 9 which is in first level, then in second level we have 8 and 5, and in third level 4, 6 and 2. So level wise it has been filled, and each node in this max heap has the node itself, like the parent node is bigger than the child nodes. So this is a max heap, we can say. Okay. Okay, so now we have to learn about how to add any element in this heap, and we will, in further slide we will learn how we can delete any element in this in the heap. So to add any element, we cannot, as we discussed that, right? We have to add to the last node. Means if, let's say this is my given complete binary tree, so I cannot start it from here with a new node. I only have to go to the last node, the last parent node, and then make it as a add a entry over here. So I have to identify last parent node, and then only I can add one element to that node. Is it making sense?
Yes, Abhishek.
Yes, Abhishek.
Yeah. So if I have added this, now the last means now I have to move to this particular index, and now means once I have added one, I can move here and add the 3. Okay. So this way we can add element in the heap. Okay, we will see how we add it. And similarly, in case of delete, we cannot simply means delete 9 and leave it. because if we delete 9, it will become means 2 node will be separated, like 9 will be sort of removed and there will be a tree here and there will be a tree here. So that is not the way we should delete. To delete any node from the heap, again we have to, means whatever the last element in the heap, we should replace with the root element. So here the root element previously is 9. Now after replacing this, I had replaced this, means swap. Basically we did a swap operation. So 3 came here and 9 came here. Once we did swap, we just delete this entry from the heap. Once this has been deleted, our tree now will look like this, like if will look like this. If we just remove 9, just think of that this is not there, so this will be my tree, which is complete tree, but not fulfill the max heap criteria, because it is here, if we see 3 is smaller than the 8, which is violating the max heap property, that all the nodes means all the parent node should have value greater than their child node. So in this case, what we have to do is that after delete operation, we have to swap, means we have to check, is the value, like is the root node and the child node, which like 3 is and 8. If these two, if 8 is bigger, then we have to swap it. So after swapping, the value will come like this. And also, like we have to also consider among these two elements which node we have to swap. So we will be swapping to the biggest node, so that the biggest node will come at top and 3 will come here. Okay. Now 3 has reached to this position. Again, this is violating the case of max heap. So we have to swap to the max element among these 3 entries, 3, 4, and 6. I can either swap to 3 and 4, or I can swap to 3 and 6. But I have to choose swapping for 3 and 6, not between 3 and 4, because 6 is even bigger than 4. So I have to make it parent node of this combination. So this way we have reached to this position, this tree, and now it is complete tree along with having all the max properties. Like each node have each parent node had a bigger value than their corresponding child node. So that way we can means do delete operation. Here we have successfully removed the 9. Like once we are deleting, if you have observed, we are deleting it from the top. Whatever the heap which we had created previously, the element which got deleted is the top element in the heap. So 9 has been deleted. If suppose next time again I have to delete, so 8 will be deleted. And again, I have to do the same operation to make it max heap, to build a heap, max heap, either by swiping and percolating down. So hope this is clear how delete property work.
Yes, Abhishek.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah. Now, how we have to add is it is okay. Add is like we will be adding to the last element. So this, after deleting, if I will see here, this was my tree which was there. Now if I have to add 7, I will be again adding to the this position, and I will be now in delete we had percolated down. In add, like when we have to insert any element, we have to percolate up. So now I will keep on checking, is the max heap property is still persisted or not. So I see that since 7 is bigger than 4, So it is violating my max property, max heap property. So I will swap it. Now 7 and 4 will be swap and will become like this. Again, I will check is 6 and 7 means who is bigger among these two. So obviously 7 is bigger, so I will again swap. Now 7 has come down to this position. 7 down will come to this position and 6 will come to this position. So this will be my heap. Again, I will check is 7 is bigger than 8. No, it is not the case. So now I will conclude that now this has reached, means I successfully able to add new element, which is 7. And I had also maintained my means heap property, max heap property. So this is the way we add element in a heap. Hope this is also clear. Okay, so move on. Okay, now we will see how, because I initially told that we do not maintain any kind of node data type to for left and right pointer and to navigate in the tree. We use indexes of the array itself, like binaries. Like this heap is represented internally in form of array. We do just some logic. We add some logic to make it max heap or min heap. We do not add any extra memory to go for like direction, like I have to move to left subtree or right subtree. We don't do that. We use indexes of array itself to identify which is my parent and what is the left and right child. So if you see here, this was my once, let's take this example only. So I was able to add 4 here, and okay, and this was my heap which has been built. So if you'll see 0, if we represent the same in this format, like in array itself, 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, because this could be completely mapped to array indexes. Why? Because we are adding each element without because we are maintaining adding each element with complete tree property. So that way, if I will see this as this form, like in an array representation form, we can easily map each indexes with the node of the tree, because 8 is at my 0 index, 7 will be my first index, 5 will be at my second index, 6 will be my third index, and likewise, like 3 will be 4, 2 will be 5, 6 will be 1, and 7 will be 1. So if now I had just replace my logical representation, like this will be a kind of logical or logical representation of a tree. I replaced it in a array format. How? Just to map those indexes with the array. So if up to this it is clear, I can go ahead. Otherwise, we can have a discussion over here, because these are important to understand. Okay.
Abhishek, one doubt. So all the array it will look like a normal array only, but how exactly we are going to identify it's a node or what?
Yes. So if it is a for now, let's assume that whatever the array which we have, let's say this is my array, and let's assume that it is in a form of complete binary tree, and it has max heap property. So just if I have to represent any array in a tree, I will just start with 8. I will put it, means for logical representation, for view, means to logically view how it will look like in a tree. I will just put 8 at my node, root node, 7 as my left child, 5 as my right child of 8. Likewise, I will just create a tree from this array, right? Considering that I had completely filled this array sequentially.
Okay. So all array will have the same structure only.
Right, right. So once we have any array, if we have any array, means not, if you have been given any array, we can build a max heap by just, we can build a complete tree first. And then we have to sort of do, we just have to migrate that complete tree to fulfill the max heap or min heap property. That is what is required. So if I will see here, if I means 8 is my root index, it is 0 position. Left child will be, first left child will be 1, right child will be 1, 2, 3, 4, then 5 and 6 and 7. That way it has been represented.
Yes.
So if somebody asks me in this array, so what, let's say somebody asks you, what is the parent of 3? Then I just has to do, if you will see this logic here, left and right. For left, for any left, what we are doing, for that particular index, we are adding, multiplying that to 2 and adding 1. So what is the left child of 8? It is index 2 into 0 plus 1, which is 1.
Yes.
So left child of 8 is 1.
Yes, 7.
Similarly, what is the left right child of 5? It will be 0, 1, 2, 2 into 2 plus 1, 2 into 2 plus 2. So that will be 4 plus 6. So 6 will be 1. Right?
Yes.
So
Correct.
now here we are kind of mapping left and right point. We are mapping left and right subtree using the index property. Similarly, if somebody asks me what is the parent of this 7 and 5, so if I will just divide it by 2, so 1 by 2 will be 0, 1 by 2, okay, so that will be 0, 1, 1 by 2, 0, 2 by 2. इसका parent क्या होता है? एक मिनट यार. Okay, so it is index minus 1 by 2. So 1 by 1 minus 1 is 0, 0 by 2 is again 0, so it will be 8. 5 means 2 will be index at 2, 2 minus 1 is equal to 1, 1 by 2 is again 0. So I will reach to the parent. So at any point I can either move, means at any point, if a given complete array is given, complete tree is given, I can find out its left child and right child by doing this math. Like for left child, I use 2i plus 1, and for right child, I can use 2i plus 2.
Yes.
So that way I can move to left and right child. And if I have to go to parent to that particular any given node, I just have to index minus 1 by 2. If I will do, I will reach to the parent.
Yes. Index minus 1 by 2. And one more thing. So whatever array we are getting, that should be sorted.
No, that will be not sorted.
Okay.
Right now this array, what means, we will be doing heapify operation to make it sorted, or just to fully make it what we say that complete tree with max heap or min heap property.
Yes.
So whatever the array we will be given, for now just assume that this is array. We right now haven't considered that it is max heap or min heap. Just we are trying to understand how we can represent this array in, how we can use this array to map it in a tree format. Okay.
One last question. So let's say if someone says like the same array you need to use for mean heap. So do we need to sort it, or like how exactly we are going to do?
Yeah, that I will discuss.
Okay.
Okay. So these are helper function which we can, if we have to build a max heap or min heap, what I have did is, these will be my element, means I use template, means generic programming, hope everyone knows about that. So basically we can build a min heap or max heap of any data type. So that I have used element over here. I had used one priority function to identify either it is a max heap or min heap. That will be passed, means in my implementation that will be passed as a argument. So whosoever is going to use this heap need to pass this priority function as part of its init method. The element is optional for like the way I had created is the element is optional. By default, it is empty. You can even pass the element when you are trying to create heap. Once like if anybody pass the element in the heap, and I will assign this priority function to my heap as a property, and then I will build heap. We will discuss this lately, but for now, just assume that if we do this build heap, it will achieve whatever the priority we had assigned, like either we had assigned it as a max or mean, that will be accomplished. We will see that how it will be done.
And
But for
what
now,
exactly this priority function will do?
yeah, so priority function will be tell you that if you are giving two element, how these two elements are related. Either these two elements are in increasing order or are in decreasing order. So if it is returning a bool, if you'll see, okay, yeah. Where I have written, yeah. Here I had created a heap and I had given A and B. So if you'll see that how these two elements A and B are related, either it is in increasing order or in decreasing order. So basically I am asking to the user that the kind of heap you are creating, you tell me, rather than I am deciding of my own that it is going to be max heap or min heap.
Yes. Okay, got it.
Got it, right?
Yes, got it.
Okay. Okay, yeah. So now move to isRoot. IsRoot is very simple because we are considering that it is a kind of array. So index 0 equal to if any at any particular index, is that is a root or not? If we will just check that if it is equal to 0 or not. Left child, as I had discussed, that any for any index, the left child index will be 2 into index plus 1. Right child index will be 2 into index plus 2, and parent will be index minus 1 by 2. So hope these functions are clear. Like if I have to know what is the left and what is the right, I can use these two helper function. And if I have to just know if it is a root or not, I can use this. So up to here, any doubt? Okay, let's move on. So there are more helper function. One is higher priority. So is higher priority will be means I had asked two indexes. One means first index and second index. I will call that same priority function, and I will pass the element of that means the array element at that first index and second index to decide is that the given priority is higher or not. It could be min in a min way or a max way. I haven't written the logic here. So just whatever the user or the consumer of this has will be setting the priority, this function will be called. This priority function will be called to identify basically is the given indexes are in higher priority or not. Okay. Now we have one more helper function, which is highest priority index. So this will club three things. One is the parent, another one is the left, and the third one is the right. Means the left of parent, right of parent, and parent. In collaboration of these three, it will give me highest priority index. Okay. So just for visualization, I can say that if this is my case, if I have to just a minute, where we were checking that. Yeah, just for understanding that, if I will call this is highest priority at index for 6, it will consider 6, 4, and 3 and give me priority based on which has the highest priority for this particular index. So it could be, for now it looks like 6 has the highest priority, but it could be like 3 will be having highest priority, 4 will be having highest priority. So in clubbing these 3 elements, it will give me highest priority.
Hello,
So
okay.
yeah.
Just one thing, maybe I missed that part. I understood the priority function, what it is doing, but what is the need of this priority function?
Highest priority function you are saying?
Yes, this what it will do means if we get the index of the highest priority out of 3, with that index, what we will be doing it, what we will be doing.
Yeah, so I had discussed, right, that we will be, when we are doing swap, in that case, in case of delete, when we are doing swap, wait, there was a case where we have to decide Hmm, 8 and 3. Yeah, so see here 3 and among this case, like 8 and 3, we are swapping 8 here, not 5, because in 3, 8 and 5, 8 has the maximum priority, so 8 will go up.
Okay,
Right?
Okay, so basically it is used for swapping in case of
Correct.
these kind of scenario.
Yeah, same like if you see here, now it has violated the maxi property, so we are not we are picking among 3, 6, and 4. So now 4 will be not moved, even though 4 is greater than 3, but 6 will be moved up. Okay. So here we had used that highest priority index for the parent.
Okay.
So for a given parent, what will be the highest priority among parent itself, left child and right child?
Okay,
right?
Hmm.
And swap element is very obvious, like we are kind of swapping the element at the index. Okay. So we have written a function called shift up, and this is being used for enqueue. I told you that when we are doing enqueue, we are appending the element at very last, and we are doing this shift up operation. So what it does is, it for any means as we do this, we get the parent of that particular index, and if it is not the root, and it is higher priority, means if it is higher priority at index, and it has higher priority, like let's say whatever the item which I want to check, for this, say here only, so I had added 7. Now what I will do, I will do a check for these two, is kind of this is not a root. If it is not root, it means that I cannot move, means if I have reached here, I cannot move it any further, so I will break in that case. And if I will break in the case also where, like, the element is at its correct position, so it has no further higher priority element to its parent. So now if we has reached to this position also, I have to break. So considering that, the code is, so if it is not a root and it has some higher priority function with related to its parent. Then we do swap, and again we call recursively to the parent itself. So this way we will be percolating up the ladder. Like we will be doing swaps and checking the priority after swap to make it max heap or min heap. So this is clear, this logic?
Yes, Abhishek.
Okay. Yeah. So DQ is very much similar. We are checking that like if the element itself is means there is no element in array, so there is no point of deleting. We just return nil in that case. If there are element, then we do means after like we swap 0 index with a last element of the array, and then we remove the last element. Like once we do the swap, we remove the last element. We store for returning that element if we want to return. So we just store that element, and after deleting, if let's say the element after removing that element from the array, still the means there are element in the array, so we do shift down, and what it do is that it will kind of percolate down and keep on making that max heap or min heap property. So the way we had discussed, shift down is like we will be identifying the child index. So here again we are finding the highest priority index for index. Like it will be among the 3 element, we are finding out which one has the highest priority. If that index is not the parent, means itself the index which we are looking itself, it is not there, so we will be kind of doing swap, and again we will be calling recursively this shift down method. So just for one more time I will go through this. So here we are first kind of deleting, if we have been given this as our max heap, we first kind of swap these two entries, like 3 and 9 will be swapped. Then we will be kind of deleting this 9, and again we will be doing down, means shift down. We will be keep on checking among 8, 3 and 5 which element I have to move down, and basically this way I will be able to achieve my max heap property. So here 3 and among 3 and 8, 3 will be moved down and 8 will be moved up. Again 3 will be checked with 4 and 6. So 6 will be moved up and 3 will move down. Now I have reached to a position where, like, if I will just find out my child index for this, I will get itself as a child index. So I have to stop in that case. So that way the logic is written. Where is that? Yeah. So I hope up to here we are clear, right?
Yes, Abhishek.
Okay, good. Okay, one more thing I want to discuss is one more property is that if you'll see that means any array, if you will see here, the parent means the last parent, if you will see, this is the last parent is 6 here, right? After the 6 there is no parent element. 8 is the first parent, 7 is the second parent, 5 is the third parent, 6 is the next parent to 5, but after that there is no parent, all are leaf nodes. So if you will see here, the number of element in this array is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. And if we divide it by 2, so 8 divided by 2 is 4. So if you will see 0, 1, 2, 3, so it will be always means my parent will be, last parent will be always at means n by 2 minus 1 position, I can say. if even if I will remove this, let's say 4 has been not there, and if you will just see this as a array 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, and if I will 7 by 2 will be 3, and 3 minus 1 is 2, so last parent will be 5. If I had removed this 4, so last parent will be 5 in that case. So this is one of the property which we can use to make our if any heap is given, if any array is given to me, if I come to know that what is my last parent, I can start from there to do my heapify operation, like to do my to make this given array as a max heap. If suppose the given array is not in a max heap, is not in a max heap property, I can use this property that all the element, the parent will always be in the n minus 1 by 2 position, n by 2 minus 1 location. That is making sense, or it is not, it is doubtful?
Abhishek, it is not clear.
Okay. It's not clear. Okay, so if you'll see the here, this is this is my tree, and if I will see the number of element in this tree is 1 2 3. So 3 by 2 is 1, 1 minus 1 is 0. So my last parent node is at 0 index. If I will add, let's say, let's take this.
Abhishek, I think the application of this property is not clear.
Application of this property is not clear. Okay.
So you explained this could be used when we will be provided with unsorted array and we have to create a heap out of it,
Right.
right? But please explain how.
Right. So if suppose at when I'm my consumer of this heap is going to give me an element of array, so I have to make that element of array to fulfill heap property. So I had assigned the elements, but still these elements are not in in a format to fulfill the heap properties. So I had called here build heap, a function, and how this will make my like if we call this build heap function, what it do is that it will find out the last parent. If I will see this statement, what does it mean is starting from 0 to count by 2. So let's say if there are 5 element in the, okay, let's take an example, this one only. So 875 63214 875. Okay. Eight, 7, 5, 6, 3, 2, 9, something like that. Okay. So the count will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 is the count. Now, if I will arrange this in a tree format, so 8 will be here. Then 6 will be here. 5 will be here. Then again 6 will be here. 3 will be here. And 2 will be here. Then 9 will be here. Okay. Let's take one more example. 10. One more entry. I don't know right now that this is a max heap or not, but I know that this will be the format in which the array should be represented. Now, if you will see that, what is my last parent node, which is last parent node is 6, after this 6, all nodes have either no leaf. All nodes are basically leaf nodes. Okay, 3, 2, 9, and 10 are leaf node. If I just do this, this means count by 2, I will get 1, 2, 3. The total number of element 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 by 2 is 4. 4 and minus 1 is equal to 3. So if you'll see here, 0, 1, 2, 3. Third will be my, this index will be my first parent, last parent node. So up to here, all nodes are leaf node. So I don't have to bother for doing heap max heap property for any leaf node. I have to bother only for parent node. So from here, I have to do shift down operation so that I will be able to achieve max heap property, or many heap property, means either the property which has been passed. So if that is the case, I will see that is 6 and 10, is it properly done or not? It is not, because right now 6 is smaller than 10. So 10 will come up, 6 will go down. Again, this will, since again this 6 and 6 are not matching. So here, let's do this. So this will become 10. Yeah. Yeah, do it here only then. So this will become 6, and this will goes here 10. Again, this 10 and 6 are not in maxi property, so 10 will come here, and 6 will come here. Okay, so again this 10 and 8 are not in maxi, so 8 will come here and 10 will go here. Just shift down करना है ना, उल्टा कर दिया क्या मैंने, shift up कर दिया क्या? I think I did reverse. एक मिनट पहले. So anyway, this will be परफेक्ट. अब तो होना चाहिए. शिफ्ट डाउन में क्या करना है? Shift down. We are calculating the child index among highest priority index between parent and the child. Okay. Okay, so here it will be 6 and 10. This will be moved up. So 10 will come here and 6 will come here. Again this. Now this will be become so same, yeah, that was correct, only 10, and then this will become 6. This will become my child, so 10, and this will come 8 here. Now again I have to go to 5 and see all the element are in heap property or not. So if I will do this 5 to 9, so 9 will be violating this, so 9 will be moved here and 5 will come here. 5 will come here. Again, now this is in heap. Now 9 is, this index is covered. Now I move to 8. I will check that. Is these two are in max heap property or not? So it is max heap. Now I move to 10 finally. So 10 is again in max heap. So this formation is my max heap formation. That way we will be able to achieve, even if any element will be given, I will call this build heap method. So that way I will be able to make it max heap. I will be able to achieve max heap property. Is this is clear now or not?
Yes, Abhishek.
I think you missed swift up function here, because you also need to compare the leave nodes. Swift down is to compare with parent, and swift up is to compare with leave.
No, shift down is shift down is to compare among if highest priority index means I have to calculate child index among for the given parent index. Okay. Is it shift down or shift up?
Anyways, that's a basic programming error.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
the concept wise, it's clear.
Okay, let's move. So that way now we had means written our whole heap implementation is done. This heap will be generally used to make priority queue. The question now we will be going to discuss is okay. I have any other slide to share or it is done? Okay, it's done. Yeah, so the question is top k frequent element. What it states is you have been given an array of integers, and you have been given a k value that will be like you have to find in this particular given array how many like if it is 2, that if it has been given 2, it means that you have to find two most occurring element in this particular array. So if we see this example 1 1 1 2 2 and 3, so 1 and 2 are the most occurring element. Basically 1 and 2 are the two most occurring element in this particular array. Is the problem statement is clear or not? So basically it states that given an array num and an integer k, return the k most frequent element. So whichever like mostly occurred in this particular array, we have to return k most frequent element among them. It could be like many element will be there, but we have to return the maximum means like k element which are repeating with maximum frequency. Is the problem statement is clear or it is still doubtful?
Yes, Abhishek, it is clear.
Okay. Yeah, to solve this, what I had means we can discuss about various approach, then we can move to the solution. So if you guys want to discuss what will be the way we can solve it, just pitch in and we will discuss over that.
Yeah, Abhishek, we can store all the elements in hash map with their
Mhm.
respective count. So
Mhm.
by using this, we can easily give the k numbers, the current most frequent k numbers.
So how you are going to use that map? Means okay. So now we had stored that each element count means kind of frequency of each element, and
Yeah, yeah.
how
Yeah, I
okay.
added all the elements with their respective count. Suppose
Hmm.
one is repeated 3 times and two is repeated 2 times, right? So
Hmm.
I am storing their count also. So
Hmm.
whenever anyone asks, I will take out the most frequent element. Suppose k equal to 2, then I will check the which one is having the most frequent, means one is 3 times and two is 2 times. So I will iterate the map and give that number.
So what you are saying that you will iterate the map to check. So you will be doing two for loop, right? In that case, to identify which.
Yeah, but it will be the order of n only because I am storing in hash map and iterating it. That's it.
No, but when you are storing in the map, so how you will be able to decide it which one you will be going to pick, because the order will be not there, right?
So I will mend. Okay, order.
My question is that how you will able to identify which, because we have to find the element which has the highest frequency, k element which has most frequency. So which one you will pick? How you will decide?
Okay, that logic I have to think about it.
Okay.
Okay.
If anyone want to jump in?
Hello.
Yeah.
So Abhishek, so what we can do is, I'm not sure whether it will be correct approach or not, but we can traverse through the array
Mhm.
like we normally do, and we will be traversing. And means first of all, we can go if array is not sorted. First, we will
Okay.
sort it with n-log n approach.
Mhm.
After that, once the array is sorted, then we can have the logic where we can check for where we will traverse the array, and
Mhm.
till the time we get the same elements, we will keep counting it.
Mhm.
And as soon as we encounter the number different number,
Mhm.
we will save this the number of count into
Mhm.
the first max, and then we will start reading uh, the second number which we encountered. And if suppose the second number also we got for some maybe j times or k times, then
Mhm.
we will see with the first max whether it is greater than or less than. If it is greater than, then we will move the first max to the second max, and
Mhm.
the new max will be placed in the first max. Then we will again start traversing. Like this we can, means we have to maintain two variables for the max. One will be storing the first max, and the second variable will be storing the second max. Every time we get the new count, we will check with the first max. If it is greater than, then first max will move to second max, and first max we will fill the with the new variable. If it is lower than, then we will check with the second max, and we will update the second max accordingly.
Yeah, but in that case, we will be only able to manage to find only single most frequent element, not
Okay, yes,
most.
it will be like number of k elements. If it is more than two, then it will be, it won't, it will need extra space in that case. Yes, correct. Uh,
Yeah. So in that case, you have to maintain an array, and every time you find any element which is kind of, let's say we are maintaining an array where we are putting the lowest frequent element at the very first after doing all the sorting and all. So that way, if we found that the element which we got now is, if it is bigger than that, then we kind of append that array and try to sort that again, so that we will be able
Yes,
to
yes,
achieve it.
yes, correct. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. This will be one of the approach, but the time complexity, I think that this will be of n n log n for sorting, and then n for again that o of n log k for kind of n log
Yeah,
k for,
total will
Yes.
be n log n.
yeah, total will be o of n log n, right?
Yeah, but problem is suppose k is equal to 3 or 5 or 7, then what we will do?
Yes, in that case, complexity will increase, and it may not. Logic may also not work. Correct. I got the
Yeah,
problem.
so there will be
The-
too much complex in logic
Yes,
part.
yes, correct, correct.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Anybody else has any other solution? I know Nishant know the answer, so I am not expecting him to jump in. Okay.
Hello,
Yeah.
Abhishek. Yeah, I
Yeah, sure.
just thinking out loud. So I'm just using the one who, I want to use a map and the array. So first I will create the struct same you have created entry where we have to store value and frequency. Okay. And then now I want to create a map for where I want to store for each value, I want to store this object where I will store the value and frequency. So for
Okay. So
example, huh,
okay, let's take an example.
basically I want to create an object where I want to store a value and frequency
Okay.
for
Right.
so for and then I want to store this object in an array and then sort based on the frequency.
Okay, got it. So basically, you
If I
want to
could.
create a map of this way, like the entry which I had created, value and their frequency,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
Let's say for
This part I'm not, I'm just thinking, but at the end, I want to create an array where I want to store these object where each object will have a value, property value and frequency. And I want to sort this array based on the frequency. In this way, where if I want to get the top k frequent, then I can get easily by using from index 0 to k minus 1.
right, true, yeah,
Got it?
that will be a solution.
But
So
what
basically, what?
I mean,
Yeah. So
Yes.
that is a solution, and yeah, Janan.
Same Abhishek. Yeah. I just want to ask if we store in map, and then how will we sort using the key? Sorry, key is my number, and whatever we can say key or value, whatever we are storing it. So
No.
can we sort it
Yes, we can sort
based
it,
on
right?
frequency?
Yes, we can
Okay.
sort it. So basically, what he's saying that we will go away like that 6 2, because 6 has occurred 2 times. 9 is basically 2 times, so 9 2, and then let's say uh,
Yeah, understood. Yeah, understood.
understood, right? 0 has occurred
Yeah,
3
yeah.
4 times.
After that, we are sorting based on the frequency.
Correct. And then
But the problem with the sorting is basically the time complexity will remain n log n.
yes,
right.
yes, yes, yes.
but this is one of the approach which we can at least discuss to the interviewer, so that at least we will be having some solution. So this is, yeah, this is one of the solution where we will sort of kind of making a frequency map, and we will be sorting this frequency, means we will be sorting this array based on frequency, so that whatever uh, has the highest frequency will be coming at very first, and whatever having lowest frequency will go backward in the array, and we will be just picking first k element out of that. So yeah, that will be a solution.
K minus 1 element.
Yeah, k minus
0 to 0 to k minus 1 element.
yeah, true, means the k element which I will be picking.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Okay, so on similar line, like the same solution, means very similar solution I have. But the thing is that we will be able to optimize a bit further. Let's see, jump into my PPT. Okay. So what I had did is that I had created a frequency map. Similarly, what we had discussed, let me share this screen, then we will go. So this is the example which I have taken 1, 3, 5, 12, 11, 12, and 11, and k is 2, just to make things simpler. So I had created a frequency map that 1 has occurred one time, 3 has occurred one time, 5 has occurred one time, 12 has occurred 2 times, and 11 has occurred 2 times. So this will be my frequency map. Then I had used one min heap. Why I had used min heap? See here, the case is whenever like I'm getting a high means lower frequency, then my means if I build a min heap, let's say I had built a min heap, and if I'm getting a lower frequency, means my new entry has even lower frequency than my top of the min heap, then there is no point of adding that into min heap itself. I can simply ignore that. So that way I can just means that way I can solve this problem more efficiently. Let's see how this will work. So first, up to k, like up to 2 element anyway, I will be adding it to min heap. So 1 1 will be first entered, then the next will be 3 1 will be entered. So a min heap will be like this, will be get created. Then as soon as 5 1 will come, means 5 1 will be entered here, because we have to add at this position only. So 5 1 will be entered here. Since it has more number of element than 2, like it now reached to 3 element, so I have to delete one element. The process of deletion is same, like we have to just first swap it. So swap the element, and then delete the last swapped index and do min property. So here I had swap this. So 5 1 will become 1 1. I deleted this, 1 1 will be go out. And since these two are having same property, like 1 and 1 both are having same number of frequencies, so there is no operation, means there will be no percolate down operation will be happening. So this state will be remain as it is. Now like up to 5 1 we are done. Then comes 12 2. As soon as 12 2 come, this will be added at here. 12 2 will be added at here. Again, this has since 12 2 has added it, it is more than k. The total count of my min heap is more than k, so I have to delete one element. So for deletion, I am trying to remove, means replace this entry with this entry. I mean switch between these two, and then I will be deleting this entry. Again, since here, if you'll see 12 2 and 3 1, they are kind of violating min heap property, because 2 is bigger than 1, so I have to do swap. So 3 1 will come here and 12 2 goes down. We had covered up to this position. Now 11 2 will come. So again 11 2 will come, and from here 11 2 will be added here. This way, like because if I had at 11 2, first thing is that since this has been bigger than my size, k is means the whole size of my main heap is bigger, so I have to delete one element. So again, once I have to delete is that I have to first swap these last two root node. So after swapping 11 2 come here and 3 1 goes out of the picture. And since these two are in same properties, like they have same number of frequencies, so there will be no swap. So we reached to a position now, like every element in the this I had iterated to the frequency map, and I now has reached into it. So the final output, whatever present in my this heap, will be my result, which I have to return. So this way we can solve this problem. Only thing is that once we are considering at the time of addition or at the time of deletion, this min heap, the heap which I have created, will automatically take care of deletion and addition. I don't have to bother, because I had already written logic to delete and means enqueue and dequeue any element from the heap. So coming to logic, yeah, I had created a frequency map. So these numbers I had kind of created a initialize it here, and then I had kind of updated this frequency map. Once we have this frequency map, I had created one heap, and here, like, I had given this if you see, okay. Yeah, so element I'm not adding at very first. I'm just ignoring this property because I don't want to make it. I just wanted to start with the heap with a 0 element, and I assign this priority function for mean heap. So if you'll see here, okay, if you'll see here, I had given that a dot frequency should be less than b dot frequency. So heap I had created based on the entry, like value and frequency. Okay. And now for each value and frequency in this map, I'm going to iterate to this map, and the value and frequency, like key and value pair, I'm iterating. So if in the mean heap, I will enqueue that entry with value and frequency until, like, I will do this operation until I reach to a position where the number of element in the my heap is equal to k. If it is greater than k, if it is greater than k, after as soon as I had added the element in the this map, I have to remove the topmost element which has minimum frequency. So every time I will append frequency, I will add this entry into map, and whatever the minimum out of this map, I will be extracting, so that it will be maintained. It has always k element in the map, and those k elements should be having always highest frequency, because every time I'm kind of pulling out the minimum frequency from the min heap. So as soon as we completed this loop, now its only thing is that we have to just dequeue this min heap and get result appended, because now this map has only k element, and those k element I have to just dequeue to get appended in the result, and that result I had just returned. Okay. So is this part is clear, or is still having some doubt? Okay. Now let's discuss about time complexity. Time complexity will be here. This operation will take O of n. this operation again, like I am doing n for this operation. I am doing for n, all the n entries, means if let's say all the element are having one at a time, like the frequencies for each element is one only. So max I will do it at O of n. This loop will run on O of n, and inside this loop I am doing in Q and DQ. So each these operation are separate, and they are like, they in Q will take log n, will work on log of k, because we are maintaining k only. The size of the map is only k. So basically the it has log k will be its time complexity for NQ, and same will be log k will be the time complexity for DQ. So now we have the final time complexity for this operation, if I will consider, will be O of n n log k. Okay. And finally, like this operation, if I will see, it is just iteration over our mean heap. So this is again O of k. So finally our time complexity will be of O of n log k. Hope this is clear.
Abhishek, I have a doubt. So in the loop where you have written min heap in Q, okay, that will took log of k. Okay, so in this, have you considered time complexity to build the heap? Also, you have just this will this time complexity will include to build the heap and heapify and a whole thing, no?
No, we see we are starting with if you see the code, I hadn't created means my heap is started with empty entries, like I didn't pass any element at very beginning. So this part is empty. I just passed the priority function when I had created. So since this build heap is only run on if you have element in the, means if count is greater than 0 only, then this will be running. So anyway, initially the elements are empty. Now once I will be calling this inQ function, so this will be kind of inQ will be here. It will be appending elements to the means that particular element is getting appended into elements array. So after elements array, it has been appended. This function, basically this function has time complexity of O of n, O of log n. If O of log n, not even log n, basically its time complexity is O of log what we say that means how whatever the size height of the tree which we have, it's that will be. So considering k will be, if my total size of the heap will be k, so it's this time complexity will be O of log k. Because if you see in the PPT also, how many time we are doing this switches, means swap and everything, we are doing that through the height only. We are not doing more than that. So for any tree, if for any given tree, if we are doing any operation through the height, its time complexity will be O of log, means logs n, means if the size of the total tree count is n, so O of log n. This part is clear or not?
Yes, it's clear. Thank you.
Yeah, I think yeah, that's all from my side. If you have any doubt further, we can discuss, or yeah, we're done then.
Thanks, Abhishek.
Okay, thank you, Abhishek.
Thank you, Abhishek.
Thank you guys.
Okay, Abhishek. Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye, Janendra.